Bum, bum, bum,
Ba-da-bum, bum,
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 bum, bum,
bum.
bum,
Kilted
bum, bum,
balls.
bum. Yeah, bum,
Ba-ba-ba-da.
bum, bum. Woo!
All right. Man, I tell you what, theme music, it's the way to go. Thank you, our friend
For
Chris, who
sure.
inspired us. So glad we added that. Welcome
Theme
back to the
music is the
Kilted
way to go.
Balls. What is this, episode 29? Man,
It's got to be right around there. It's
we
pretty
are getting
awesome.
we're getting old. 29 episodes in. Crazy. And it sounds like we've got our next interview set up. So you've heard us talk about Taco Bell in a few of our episodes. She is a she thinks it's an insult when I call her a graphic designer, so I shouldn't call her a graphic designer. But that's kind of, I think, where she started, and she's grown from there. And she's helping us with a lot of stuff, and super cool, and has agreed to be interviewed by us. So now we just got to find time to interview her, and we look forward to sharing her experience with you all.
Oh, that's super awesome. I mean, just from what I know of her, her journey sounds like it's going to be a really cool, really good interview. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be awesome. In NFT news, well, first off, just to let people know that the world hasn't changed. Kilted knows I bought a whole bunch of Ethereum yesterday. So I was kind of excited. The market was down. So I bought Ethereum, and I will let everybody know I told Kilted right away I'm buying Ethereum, so he would know to wait 10 minutes and then buy the dip. I don't know if you did that.
I did not. I did not.
I mean, it dropped $200 within minutes of me buying it. So
I love how you're a market mover. I mean,
tell you
you
what,
move the market more than when Elon tweets. So
I
that's
tell you
pretty
what,
crazy.
I control the market. Let me tell you another one I control. This one wasn't a big one, but I'm really intrigued by Boss Beauties. So if you follow us on Twitter, you will see that I bought a Boss Beauty. Oh my gosh. There's another one on the floor that I'm looking at right now. Accidentally, I just like pulled up the floor to see, and this is on the floor. And for our listeners, this is what Amy, who we interviewed, looks like with long hair. Now her hair is much shorter, but dang it, I may have to get another Boss Beauty.
That's awesome. I've seen those. I haven't had a chance to look at them. This will be my first opportunity.
Well, the thing with Boss Beauties, I'll tell you, the very first reason why I'm looking at them at all is because they did a partnership with Fame Lady Squad.
Okay.
And the deal was that when they did their launch, they were going to, and they did, give a percentage of their proceeds to Fame Lady Squad to help with that.
Oh, wow.
Right? Because
That's
Fame
awesome.
Lady Squad didn't have any of the initial money, because that was all
part of the scam. That's true. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so it's really hard to run their business with just royalties right now. And so Boss Beauty said, we'll help you out. And they gave them a portion of their sales. So I really liked that. Kind of liked the artwork. I loved the fact that it looked like Amy, which is what I put on my Twitter. I did buy two because I really wanted one to flip. I think there's a few things about this project that are cool. So I'm like, you know what? If I can get one so that I can get the Amy one for free, then I don't feel bad about hanging on to it.
So, there you go. Yeah.
Well,
see, when you double the price, then you pay for your second one.
That's what I figured. Because I'm having a little trouble, as I said on Twitter, with some with diamond hands, and it's not actually diamond hands. What it is I'm a hoarder, apparently.
Yes.
And I'm an NFT hoarder. Like, admitting it is probably the first step to recovery.
It is the first step, and congratulations. We're glad to have you here today. Nice to meet you, Buster.
It's good to be here. It's good to be here. And so what I've decided to do in my hoarding is just buy multiple, and then I will get rid of one, and then I can hoard the other and, do both.
There you go. Yeah,
So
that
yeah,
works out
so
well.
Boss Beauties, thank you for helping Fame Lady Squad. Shout out to you guys. That's super cool. I have messaged, and Kilted knows this, but
Mhm.
on Twitter, Fuocious, is that how you say his name?
Ferocious.
Fuocious. I've messaged him out, DM'd him once, and tagged him in a comment saying, let us interview you, because I really think he would inspire my students, right? So if you
Oh, yeah.
forgot, my day job
Mhm.
is a teacher, and I teach in the sciences, but I really push the arts. I
Mhm.
love art, and I help a lot of students try to aim for those goals. And I think hearing about his journey would really inspire them. So
Yeah.
if you listen to this at all, Fucocious, like, let us interview you so
Yeah,
you can inspire
that'd be
another
awesome.
generation, right? That would
Mhm.
be cool. What about you? You've been traveling all day. Do you have any NFT stuff for
Yeah.
us?
I've been traveling all day. I don't have any NFT stuff. I took another route. I can't remember if I said it, but I had a little bit over 0.25 in each of my regular MetaMask and then in my Bitski wallet as well. And I was listening to I think it's called the Rainmaker. That's what he
Okay.
calls himself on YouTube. And he was interviewing a guy who was talking. Oh, it looks like I sold. Well, shoot, this is good news. Here, just a second, live here. So
Live.
I was just thinking, a boss. I mean, oh, I updated it. Never mind. I was gonna say my Bitsky wallet had another 0.3 in it, and I was like, wait a second, I moved that this morning, but apparently I didn't update it.
Oh
I just
man.
clicked that tab again. So yeah. But anyways, yeah, he was interviewing a guy and I don't even remember now. It was many hours ago, and I've been in the car for 6 hours and then just my whole day. But it's a altcoin. What I went into, you can stake. Well, what I did, you stake your USDC. So I converted basically a half of ETH to some USDC, and then I staked it. You get 20% of the coin off the bat, and then when they do their early release, you have a chance to buy, and then like a month later, they're doing their actual release. So it sounded really interesting to me. It was worth the 0.5, like just like you and I were just talking about what's in that range to look at. And actually, I guess to take a step past that, are you considering selling our NFTs we have and then go for a boss lady, because that's right in that range we were talking about? Would that be
Yeah,
a good first flip?
so it's interesting. Our deadhead has jumped in value
Nice.
over the weekend. So I have an offer on it right now for 0.225. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Let me check the floor on these bad boys. So Kilted, if you guys remember, we started an experiment seeing if we could flip for Kilted. So the floor right now for deadheads is 0.36. So
Nice.
we bought ours for Kilted at 0.17.
Mm-hmm.
We bought our Fame Lady at 0.08, and the floor there is 0.13, right?
Yeah.
So we've almost doubled our money on deadheads.
Yeah.
It's a little bit over
I I
double.
still I still like personally, I like the Deadhead project, but I know the Boss Beauties. That's definitely an option. We wouldn't have to sell both of them. Still be able
Right.
to keep the Fame Lady and then have a little bit, like if a mint comes up that looks interesting to us or
I
something.
got a deadhead comic in the Kilted Balls wallet. Did you get one of those
Let
dropped in?
me see. Yes, I did see that.
I didn't
That
look
was
at it.
it was a that was last week you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Let
didn't look
me
at it
ask you.
either.
Let me ask you this about Kilted. The last time we tried to sell on Kilted, the gas fees made it dumb, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm wondering if we should instead, maybe what we should do is transfer those over to one of our wallets, do all the buying and selling in the other wallet, and then transfer it back.
Yeah, we could.
I mean, it's a little bit more gas, but it would save on those fees.
Yeah, because we wouldn't have that first one.
Right. Yeah. Or we could just keep them in one of our wallets and do all the transactions in there and just keep track of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that and think about it. But right now,
way,
the last time we
option.
checked, the transaction fees for selling were like $150, not to like just to verify the account. So
yeah, exactly.
When we have other accounts, it seems like a waste.
Yeah. Well, one thing that's weird, Ethereum is not going up right now. It's kind of stable a little bit. Like you said, it dipped.
Yeah.
But I've been getting offers all day on my One Force and on my World of Women. They've been going up.
Yes.
And something else with that, I was just like, oh, the Doge Pound dog, the Doge Pound puppy that I have, that I bought way too high, and it dipped. It's gradually coming back up.
Kind of like my dino.
Yeah. So it's interesting, and we've talked about that before, that usually when the price goes down, the NFT prices drop, which is just kind of funny, but when they go up, the prices of them go up.
Right.
So yeah, I'm glad. I mean, it's, I'm waiting for it to go up because, maybe just a couple, there are a few projects out there that people are getting into. So, that's driving the price up a bit.
My One Force is, the floor is up a half from what I paid for it.
That's awesome. Yeah, because you paid a lot less for yours. That was one of the times that you actually bought in less than I did.
Yep, I bought it for less. My dinos is still not at the floor yet. I could probably sell it for more. The beauties, their floor dropped because I bought them. So again, that's what happens. So I think I bought it for 0.28 and the floor dropped to 0.24. So
yeah,
some crazy stuff there. Well, I have some, I don't know if this is going to sound like big news to everybody else, but to you, Kilted, it probably will. I've got to open up my Discord as I talk, but we have not talked for a long, long time about Lucky Manekis.
No, we haven't.
We have not. And we've talked about it on some of our off-air talks. But for those of you who don't know, Lucky Maneki was the first thing I ever minted, right? So it was like super exciting. I did like 20 things wrong when I tried to mint it. It was my first try, so I wasted tons of gas trying to figure it out. I ended up buying 6 of them, and I was really bullish on my Lucky Manekis, really bullish on them. Kilted bought a whole bunch of it. One of our other buddies bought a whole bunch of it, and you just heard us in the last episode. We were laughing that at the same time, Cool Cats were made available, and Cool Cats now has skyrocketed. And so we were laughing at, maybe we chose the wrong cat. Now, the reason I chose Lucky Manekis is I have liked the premise of the Luckies the entire time, right?
Yes.
I liked their games. I liked their challenges. Their community was kind of fun. They had a guy who was doing their moderating that, I really enjoyed, like how he was doing his job. I don't even know how you say his name, Idnazilla. So, but, and he ended up actually kind of taking over Lucky Maneki. So Lucky was doing good, but then their floor dropped. So they sold out right away. When we bought them, they sold out. They kind of went back and forth. You sold some of yours, actually.
I've sold 3 since I got them, because I listed half of them for double the price I paid to, like we talked about earlier, to break even.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and so since then we've been talking, and I've been really bullish on them because they did the Maneki Gang, which I really like. And they've talked about a few other things that they were going to do. And one of the things is, as the original owners, one of them had health issues, which was really sad. And yeah, that's always horrible. But the community took it over. So much like Fame Lady Squad, the community took it over and they were turning it into a, how do you pronounce it? DAO? DAO?
Yeah, DAO.
So they made a DAO, and they wanted to start like using the Lucky Maneki and the bank that had this money in it to start, for lack of a better word, start making money for everybody else, right?
Yeah.
And they hired a group of people to act like as treasurers. They have a group of people to act as guardians over the wallet. Their Discord is nice, right? They have 2,000 people in their Discord, right? They have 11,000 Twitter followers. So they're still pretty good, but their floor is low. There's just so many drops, nothing's happening. And they've got 2 sets of it. And you have to own both really to take part in this, has been the idea.
Yeah.
And before they did this, they were going to have another drop, a 3D drop, you'll remember, for every 3 of your luckies. So I've been holding mine, you've been holding yours. And then I started talking about how they were going to do this money-making thing. And they keep releasing more and more announcements about this. And they're actually getting me more excited for luckies and more bullish. And I think as this happens, we're going to see Lucky's value skyrocket. So, not financial advice, people, but if you're sitting there, I think the floor on Lucky's is maybe like 0.02 right now. In the Maneki game, I think it's 0.02. So for 0.04, you can get yourself into a DAO that is planning on doing returns and planning a whole bunch of utility. And that's insane. That's insane that for 0.04, you can buy in.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that people really like about the Sympathy for the Devils. I mean, there's not as many of them as the Manekis, but they do. I had a little thing I could click on and I can see how much ETH I can take right now. I mean, it's a super low amount because it's based on their sales, but they're dividing it between the 5,555, each one.
Yeah. Well, and they're doing big things. Like, let me give you some stuff that they've done recently that I'm like, wow. Like, who else has done stuff like this? First off, they did a billboard in Times Square,
which is pretty awesome.
They've been interviewed twice in Yahoo Finance, right?
Nice.
Like, that's big time. They recently hired a developer. Like, they're paying him 10 grand a month.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Right. So they're not like going like, they're not saying, yeah, we're going to do this. Like, they're doing real things to like help this. And they recently released a like an update to what's going on. Right. And did you get a chance to read the update, the announcement? I don't think so, because you're just way too busy. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it actually. Because my phone, I got a few announcements from them, and I got a bunch of announcements from Sympathy for the Devils today. Like, my phone was just blowing up.
And their announcement is huge. So basically, they're like, "Hey, we've been brainstorming, we've been talking." It's like 3 pages worth of an announcement, right? And they list some of the things they're going to do. Some of the stuff they're going to do is going to revolutionize NFTs. Oh, nice. Right. So, not to put it too lightly, this is why I think they're going to go to the moon. Let me tell you the first thing they're going to do. And now I'm like, oh, I see why you're paying a developer $10,000 a month. And by the way, the developer, if you didn't know, is like hardcore, real deal developer. Nice. Like, made the grid view on Google Meets. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so that's the guy they brought in. So let me tell you the first thing that they're going to do. They are making a product suite for launching NFTs. Wow. So you have an idea, you want to launch an NFT, you contact them, and it's basically like a one-click thing. You put in all of your stuff, you upload all the files, it gives you the stuff, you tell it what website you own, it puts it on the website for you. It takes care
Wow.
of everything.
So it takes care of your smart contract and all that stuff.
Does it? They said, think of it as a Shopify for NFTs where you can launch your product at will.
That is, yeah, that's super awesome.
That's going to change everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's already not crazy hard to learn the stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but to get a safe environment where you don't have to do all of that, that's
So
crazy.
is there some, so is that, so are they saying like anything that you pay into that goes into that DAO?
So what? No. So what they're
owners?
going to do is they're going to charge you a percentage to do this.
Okay.
A percentage on initial sales, a percentage on secondary sales,
Makes
right?
sense.
And that goes into the DAO,
Oh, wow.
right? So now imagine, I don't know what their percentages would be, right? Let's say it's like OpenSea and it's 2.5%.
Mm-hmm.
And you do a 10,000 item thing and it's doing resale for 1 ETH.
Which is a pretty good project. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Right? Like all of a sudden that's bringing the DAO a ton of money and you can get in for 0.04.
Mm-hmm.
You can get in for cheaper than mint. And that's one thing they're going to do.
Mm-hmm. That's
right?
awesome.
That's mind blowing. They're doing
Yeah, I had missed
voxels.
that.
So instead of the 3D Manekis, they're going to do a voxel instead.
I did see that. I did vote on that. I don't know how I missed the other announcement.
Yeah, I voted on it too, and I voted to have it look like the Maneki game. But wait, it gets better. They're making a game with their voxel, and they have different ideas for the games. But the one that I really like and the one they talk about is basically Mario Kart with your voxel.
No way. What's a voxel? For those
like
of
think
us,
about your character in Unturned.
Okay.
That's like a voxel.
That's awesome.
So your Lucky Maneki would turn into one of those, and then you would play a Mario Kart with that character.
That would be amazing. I might have to carve some more time to play something like that.
Oh my gosh, right?
I haven't played games in forever.
I'm like, oh, their third thing, a Maneki arcade. It would be like an app store for Maneki games.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get tokens and all of that. They're going to have Discord bots and add-ons.
That's awesome.
Right. So look at all of the things they're adding. Right? Like thing after thing. Again, we've talked so much that the biggest thing you've got to do with your project is add value and add utility. And like they're in Yahoo Finance and nobody's paying attention to them.
People I was going to say, I did see that they were talking about being in Yahoo Finance.
Yeah. But my point is that people are out there buying dinos or unicorns, and you've got a project here for nothing that you can get in on that's going to give you a huge return.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's just crazy to me. So
that's awesome.
Not financial advice, people. But if you're saying, man, I wonder where I should start that might be able to give me something in return, I'm telling you, you should take a look at Lucky Manekis.
Does it say anything about owning one of each in order to get that? Is that why you're saying the 0.04? Because it's 0.02 each?
Originally it was one of each. Now, whether that's changed or not, I haven't paid enough attention because I own, 6 of each, right? So I'm in.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if the floor starts moving, I'm delisting all of mine. The only reason I haven't delisted them was because the floor is so far below that if somebody did buy one of mine, like when I originally bought Lucky Manekis, and faithful listeners know this, there was one that I liked, and that one was never going to get listed, was never going to get sold. That was mine for my artwork. So for me, the NFTs, I already said I'm a hoarder, but really for me, it's often about the artwork. That was one I liked, and I was like, I'm keeping it. The other ones, like some of them freaked me out, some of them I didn't like, and I was like, I'm listing those, and all of them were listed well above the floor from the beginning. They were never listed near the floor. But I figured if somebody wanted to pay that, I would just re-buy in at the floor.
Yeah.
And if the floor started to jump, I would probably delist them just like I do with my V friends, right? Like I would get cold feet every time.
1, 2. I have 7 Lucky Manekis listed right now. Dang it. And then I have, I think 2 of my Maneki gang listed, or maybe just 1.
Yeah, but you have a whole bunch not listed.
Yes, that's true.
So anyway, that I think is a super cool thing. And I wanted to make sure our listeners heard that. So if you're
I
sitting
agree.
going,
I think for that
do?
0.04, like as far as just, I mean, because it has been a while, but anything like that's not going to be instant unless, because I think it was, you know, short, like the V Friends came out and some other big things came out. And then like these guys came out and everyone expected it to be really big and they had a really cool roadmap and everything. They sold out, but it's not like the next day you're going to start doing that stuff.
No.
I mean, even to have the Maneki gang come out was huge. And we had talked about that was really cool. I thought it would do more of a bump, but
it bumped it for a little bit and then it went right back down. Which,
but
speaking of
what you're talking about,
think about this. So again, you want instant value. Get $300. Again, not financial advice. Get $300. Buy 3 of each. Buy 3 of the Maneki gangs. Buy 3 of the originals, and you're gonna get a voxel. They're gonna give you an airdropped voxel of the Lucky Maneki that you can use in a game.
Yeah,
which that's gonna be worth something, right?
Yeah, so, I might have to delist some of mine.
Besides, well, actually, you wouldn't be able to 0.12.
Yeah, well, the Maneki gang, the floor is 0.02, 0.021, and 0.025. So you need slightly more than $300, but say 400. You could probably get 3 of each.
You can get 3 of each.
Yeah, no, I would say that too. I would tell a friend that.
I would tell a friend that, right? So if you're listening, you're probably one of our friends.
No, I think we have a few people who aren't friends. Well, I mean, I guess friends in the greater sense, but I think there are a couple people who don't know us.
Oh, for sure. So anyway, that's our suggestion.
But the Lucky Maneki is lower than that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that are under 0.02.
I might just buy those tonight.
And there's the one with a naked head and like a rock body. I like that one.
I tell you guys what, I'm not going to buy any of them tonight. I'm giving you all a chance. Giving you a chance to listen to the episode, go out and buy them. But I'm going to tell you right now, by Friday, that floor is probably going to be gone, right?
No, if you love our listeners, which I think you do, you would buy tonight. So by the time they hear it tomorrow, the floor is going to be like 0.015. So it'll be a little lower than it is now. and then they'd be able to get in for even less.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. You're right. I should buy it now so the floor drops and then you guys can all get it for cheap. Yeah.
That's good thinking.
That is smart. I didn't think about that because that even happened with the Fame Ladies. I cleared the floor and it dropped. Sorry, Fame Ladies. I didn't.
No, that's awesome news. That's super, super good news.
Super good. So that is our podcast today. We'll probably shoot another one tomorrow. And we've got an interview coming up with Taco Bell. Did you have anything to add? Anything cool? I know that was.
No, I mean that was some of the big stuff, and then I took a little bit of a zag rather than a zig, and I've never been in early on an altcoin buy-in before. I think it's like I said, there's like 3 of them that I heard about today that all sounded super interesting. So I can't remember what this one does, honestly, but to be able to buy in early and to be able to be part of that community. And then for me, I'm just planning on staking it. I'm not gonna sell or do anything right away. It was something like, okay, like I'll get those and I'll stake them. Yeah. So, and as soon as I remember, I'd love to talk about it. Maybe if I can this weekend or in the next couple days. If not, it'll be next week. I'll look at it again.
I definitely want to hear more about it, and maybe I'll take some of that ETH I put in and change it over. So
there you go.
Not a bad idea. All right, people, thank you for joining us. And this is Ballbuster signing off.
Cut the dragon jar. Love you all.